Can you tell which animal these markings belong to? Take a wild guess. We'll reveal the answer a little later in this video. If you're looking for a wildlife experience where you can get up close to animals and see the next generation of animal care professionals in action, well, welcome to Wildly Seen Adventures. We're here to help you capture the spirit and culture of wildlife spaces so you can choose the perfect experience for your family. Today we're visiting the teaching zoo at Moorpark College. And this is a zoo where students aren't just learning about animals, they're actually helping care for them and interacting with visitors. And after my visit, I can tell you that the people working with the animals were one of the highlights of the entire experience. The teaching zoo is part of Moorpark College's Exotic Animal Training and Management, EATM or EATM program, and its mission is pretty unique. This isn't simply a place where you come to see the animals. It's also a place where students are learning the skills they need for careers working with animals. And that educational mission is something you can actually see during your visit. There were numerous opportunities to watch keeper trainees working with the animals, presenting the animals to visitors, and demonstrating learned behaviors. That made the experience feel much more personal than simply walking through a zoo and looking at animals in their habitats. One important thing to know, the teaching zoo is only open to the public on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. They offer other experiences such as parties, field trips, and summer camps as noted on their website. Admission for the public on weekends is pretty reasonable. General admission is $12, seniors 65 and over, and children ages 3 to 12 are $10, and children 2 and under get in free. So this can be a very affordable family wildlife experience. Just make sure you plan your visit on the weekend. I really enjoyed seeing the relationship between the animal and the person working with it. That's one of the things I appreciated throughout the whole zoo. The animals weren't just on display, there was a lot of interaction and attention from the student keepers.
She's in her late 30s. And a lot of people don't realize how long they live and the care that they need.
And there were learned behaviors. This lion was a great example. Watching the lion respond to the trainer demonstrates how training can be an important part of animal care. It's also fascinating to watch because you're seeing communication between the animal and the person working with it. And before the demonstration, the keeper spent time explaining the program and what she was doing with the lion. She also answered questions at the end.
Open. Straight on. Open. Good. Shake. Good. Little one.
Good job.
Rise up.
Oh.
Good.
Whoa. How tall is he, kid?
Good boy.
Who's taller, you or him?
Good.
What? Who's taller, you or him?
Sit. Good. Wave. Good. Good boy.
The serval provided another great example. These demonstrations aren't just entertaining, they're also a chance for students to practice the skills they're learning while giving visitors a look at how professional animal care works.
This is Elsa. She's our African serval.
Okay, come here. Right here, look at the cat.
Good girl. Elsa, jump in. Good girl. You jump it again? Jump it, Elsa. What was that?
She can jump.
Oh, she can jump very high. These animals are evolved to have not only very sensitive hearing, but to be able to jump high and catch birds. And they also are some of the best feline fishers out there in the wild for fish. Servals are very known for their claws being able to reach for the fish.
And you never quite know what you're going to see or hear at a teaching zoo. This gibbon definitely made its presence known with its singing. With so many different species represented here, there's plenty to discover. Here's a list of the primates you might see and a roll call for the squirrel monkey troop. One of the things I would strongly recommend is attending as many of the animal presentations as you can. The presentations were one of the real standouts of this experience. On the day I visited, the shows included a hornbill and donkey shown earlier in this video, a llama, a hognose snake, a hedgehog, a tortoise, a great horned owl, and a porcupine.
Flying above your head.
These presentations give visitors an opportunity to learn more about the animals while watching the students demonstrate their handling and presentation skills. And that's really where the mission of the teaching zoo comes together. You're getting an educational experience, the animals are receiving attention and care, and the students are gaining real-world experience working with animals and with the public. The teaching zoo was clean, well-maintained, and had a very hands-on atmosphere. The animals appeared healthy, and one thing that really stood out was the amount of attention they received from the student handlers. One habitat that really caught my attention was the new tiger habitat. It looks very well designed, with features that give the tigers opportunities to move around and interact with their surroundings. When it comes to visitor amenities, this isn't a destination with all the conveniences you might find in a larger zoo. There aren't many food options on site, so you may want to plan accordingly. And there are no wheelchair or stroller rentals. The other thing to know before you visit is the teaching zoo is cashless, so purchases need to be made with a credit or debit card. There's a small gift shop area, but the real attraction here isn't the gift shop or the food. It's the animal programs and the people working with the animals. Remember today's wild guess? If you guessed a donkey, you got it, and congratulations. Donkeys have a usually visible cross marking on their backs. So how does the teaching zoo at Moorpark College do on the Wildly Seen Adventures Scorecard? We rate 3 categories: care, purpose, and experience, then wrap it up with an overall impression. For care, I'm giving the teaching zoo 4.25 out of 5 stars. The enclosures I saw were clean and the animals appeared healthy. I was also impressed by the amount of attention the animals received from the student handlers. Seeing that level of interaction throughout the zoo gave me a good impression of the hands-on care the animals receive. And the new tiger habitat was another positive. It appears to be very thoughtfully designed and provides the tigers with opportunities to move around and engage with their environment. Overall, I saw a strong emphasis on animal care, and the students' hands-on involvement was a real strength. Purpose also gets 4.25 out of 5 stars. Many of the animals here are the result of rescues, which adds another important dimension to the zoo's mission. I didn't see the same emphasis on conservation programs or species recovery that you might find at some other zoos, but that's because the primary purpose here is different. The teaching zoo exists to train the animal handlers of the future, and that purpose was extremely evident throughout my visit. In experience, I'm giving the teaching zoo an impressive 4.75 out of 5 stars. This is where the zoo really stood out for me. The interaction between the keeper trainees and the visitors made the experience especially rewarding. The presentations were informative, engaging, and gave me an opportunity to see the students putting their training into practice. If you visit, check the presentation schedule and attend as many of the programs as possible. I think that's where you're going to get the most out of your day. That gives the teaching zoo at Moorpark College an overall Wildly Seen Adventures score of 4.4 out of 5 stars. The teaching zoo isn't trying to be the biggest zoo around, and it doesn't have all the amenities of a large zoological park. But what it does have is something pretty special. Students getting real-world experience working with animals and sharing that experience with visitors. So if you're looking for a wildlife experience that combines animals, education, and an opportunity to see future animal care professionals developing their skills, I highly recommend giving the teaching zoo at Moorpark College a visit. And remember, be sure to attend as many of the animal presentations as you can. Thanks for joining me on another adventure. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to subscribe to Wildly Seen Adventures for more reviews of zoos, animal rescues, aquariums, sanctuaries, and other wild places. Visit wildlyseenadventures.com for more adventures and resources. You can even rate a zoo while you're there. Until next time, keep it wild.